hair wrap moment that I've got going on. I can't decide if I like it or if it looks silly. I was going for like a little vintage moment, I guess. Now, AI content is most certainly on the rise. I don't know why, but unfortunately it's happening. It's becoming harder to distinguish what's pretend and what is real because of the software becoming pretty good. But AI videos are just a really crappy attempt at creating anything creative, because it's not creative. You just type in a prompt and a computer does it for you. That's not clever, that's not cool. There is no real effort and it's not real art. Fight me. But what about when this type of AI content becomes a little bit more disturbing? Well, I mean, disturbing's a little bit of an understatement, but this content is also targeted towards children. And to make this even worse, lots of the AI slop generated content that's floating around at the minute is an exact replica of the Elsagate controversy that happened in 2016. Essentially, these AI videos are Elsagate 2.0. Even more so, probably a little bit worse. So in today's video, I thought we could have a little bit of a deep dive into some of the really weird AI children's content farms, the examples of some videos which are lock-in, guys, it's a little bit crazy, the impact that this is going to have on children in the future, and, you know, just everything to do with it. This is pretty much an Elsagate 2.0 video, I'm not gonna lie. So, firstly, I think we need to have a look at what AI actually is and anyway, first we need to briefly cover what AI is and why it's so popular today. So, of course, AI, artificial intelligence, which is basically just a computer that does everything for you. However, AI can be used for good. However, it does a lot more damage than, you know, using it for good anyway. But some of the beneficial examples of AI include that it's fast and efficient. It can get you the answers that you need, or I don't know, I don't really know what it does. It can be used for the mundane tasks of human life. So, for example, humans can go on and create the art while the robots do the boring things. That's how it would be in an ideal world, I feel like. AI is also pretty good for pattern detection, and it's used in the medical field as well as the financial field, because it can be used to, you know, detect things wrong with people, which yeah, great. But also AI bad, and AI bad because AI is being used to take over jobs from humans, therefore humans not in work. Do you know what I mean? AI bad because human no job. There you go. AI has started creating the fun things like the art and the creativity that we humans, you know, love and enjoy and take for granted, and leave us humans to do the boring jobs like washing the dishes or, I don't know, literally any job ever. Like, for example, the app Duolingo has just laid off all of their employees and replaced them with AI. So goodbye my streak, I guess. Twitter also has its own AI bot, which is called Grok, I'm pretty sure. I don't use Twitter because that is a poisonous cesspit, so I tend to stay away from that as much as possible. But what I do know, it has an AI bot, and that AI bot actually calls out Elon Musk and says that Elon Musk is the biggest spreader of misinformation and that it basically hates its own creator. Now, yeah, that's funny, but that's a little bit scary that Elon Musk created an AI bot and it already hates him. AI is also pretty bad for the environment as well. Now, I'm not a scientist and I'm not an environmentalist, but I'm pretty sure the amount of, like, energy it takes to, you know, create AI prompts is a lot more than just a simple Google search. And also, side rant, but tell me why me and my partner went shopping in the range and we came across these AI-generated photos of bulldogs.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Yeah, these are not real. These are AI-generated images that are being sold as paintings to put inside your house. Don't partake in this. I mean, if you want a French bulldog on a massive canvas in your living room, then you're probably already a little bit of a weirdo, so. But it's so weird how this content and this art has begun to, you know, come off the internet and move into real world scenarios, like being found in shops and like being featured in crappy paintings that your grandma thinks is really cool. And it's to the point now where not even children are safe from this type of content. But then again, when are children safe from anything? They're not. Now, of course, it's no secret that children watch pure slop online, and that, you know, Skibby Toilet exists. It's not a secret. It's been a thing for a while. But with Elsagate occurring in 2016, you know, which led to the adpocalypse and led to YouTube putting down strict things in place for this type of content to not be shown to children, it feels like an absolute kick in the teeth that this is just happening again, and it's even worse. Because these accounts are content creators. I use that term really loosely because they're not really creators, they're just AI channels. But these accounts, they don't even need actors, they don't even need cheap Elsa costumes, they don't even need animating software. They just need an AI chatbot or an AI software that creates videos. They don't need any skills in animation, they don't need any skills in story writing, because the computer will do it all for them and they're gonna make a pretty penny off it. It's kind of like in the same aspect that these faceless YouTubers is like a pretty big thing at the minute, where people think that they can just create slop content, you know, they just sit at the computers making content about anything using nothing but pure AI, and then they get paid from it, which, as Curtis Connor has, you know, done a video on this, and I recommend it, so I'm going to put that in the link in the description down below, because I recommend it. It's a really good video about how faceless YouTubers are, like, just getting into this to make money when it's really not that easy. I have worked my ass off for years, okay, on TikTok and on YouTube. I have deleted so many videos from, like, 5 years ago where I had no idea what I was doing to get to where I am now, and I worked really hard for that. And to know that, like, people that just use AI are, like, whacking content out there, it kind of bums, but at the same time, people are more susceptible and more like AI now, so I think it's okay. So let's have a look at some of the content types that I came across during my research. I wish I need eye bleach for what I've witnessed. It's wild, guys, I'm not gonna lie. But before we get into the more disturbing content, I thought first we should have a look at perhaps some of the lighter content. I mean, it's not really lighter, but it's lighter than the next topic that we're going to talk about. And for some reason, there has been so much cat AI generated content on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all over the place.
Shut up! Skylar, shut up! Please shut up! Stop. Shut up! Shut up!
And the cats are just doing, like, pretty mundane things. I remember seeing one on Facebook of a cat just pure grafting on a building site, and all of the comments were like, poor little kitty, like people's grandmas were commenting on it, feeling sorry for this AI generated cat. It's so dystopian. But to be honest, these videos do come off to just be pretty innocent, funny cat videos, but they're just made by a computer. But of course, it didn't stay innocent for long, because it doesn't stay innocent for long. Nothing ever stays innocent for long, because people suck. I mean, not that the videos were cute anyway, they're just slop. But channels such as Gore Cat and Cute Cat AI have been identified as those that were, like, involved in this. These channels began to make AI cat videos with topics that were not child friendly. For example, topics like abuse, violence, and even fetish content. And we're going to come back to that. Don't worry, or do worry, actually, worry. And lots of that fetish content includes vor, inflation, and bondage. Yeah, but like I said, we'll come back. But the content is often presented as being, you know, happy music in the background, bright and friendly colours, with titles such as Cute Cat Video or Cute Cat Adventures, Funny Cat Cartoon. Again, this is so similar to the Elsagate fiasco that happened. It's the same type of content, it's the same regurgitated slop that just gets posted online. There's no real storyline behind it, it's just a mix mash of shit, basically. And of course, children are drawn to this type of content because the cats are really cute looking cats, and they click on it because they want to see cute cats, but then they see a cat being I actually come across one of a cat being shot, blood and all. I was like, okay, whatever, I guess. And children are drawn to this content because of that, and then when they click on it, they get traumatized by what they see. These children are being exposed to content that is absolutely not suitable for them whatsoever. Being exposed to this from such a young age cannot be good for anyone. And I'm not kink shaming, but especially the fetish related content. Raymundo did a really good video on how children who are exposed to this type of fetish content from a very young age can then go on to develop these fetishes. Again, I'll leave a link to this video in the description if you're interested. It's a really, really good watch. But it also shows why this is such a serious problem. And I know people are like, it's just AI videos, it's just a cat. But it's not. It's so much deeper than that. But why do these channels create this kind of content with no effort or like care behind them? Well, there's an easy answer to that question, and it's money. These videos attract viewers, and they attract thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of views on this type of content, and a lot of these channels are monetized, meaning that they are making bank from it, with some of these channels uploading up to 10 times a day. And by creating these clickbaity thumbnail titles and, you know, using common children tags, they're able to exploit YouTube's recommended algorithm. But to be fair, YouTube has actually tried to do something about it, but in my personal opinion, it's not enough. But I can't give an answer for what they should do because I don't run a website. But they have tried to take down lots of channels that show this content. But because this content is so easy to make, they just keep popping back up. It's like a game of whack-a-mole. You whack one, 3 more pop up. But according to some sources, YouTube is in the works of imposing stricter AI content policies and new guidelines for children's content, and let's hope they do, and let's hope they actually take it seriously. Now, on the more disturbing end of this topic, and this is where it really does become a genuine issue that something has to happen, because a disturbing trend began to emerge in December of 2024, and again, this has been covered to death, but I want to put my 2 pence on it. And what this essentially was people were being shown graphic content of people dying, being killed, or just straight up videos of porn. But how was this content able to stay up on these platforms for so long, with some of this content even still being up to date? Well, that's because the creators of this content will put it into like an AI generated overlaid minion filter and circulate it across the platform, because it doesn't contain any gore, it doesn't contain any imagery, but the videos, you can still make out what's happening. But because it has an AI filter, the algorithms for YouTube and TikTok can't really detect that there's anything wrong with it. For example, somebody ended up taking the Christchurch shooting footage, what was streamed, I don't know where it was streamed, but it was streamed. Someone took that entire footage, put a minion filter over it, and posted it to TikTok. Now, you can't see much, but you can definitely hear it. And the fact that you can hear it is more than enough. And a lot of these videos show like beheadings, like ISIS beheading videos, or straight up that you can hear everything, and that's traumatizing for a 22-year-old woman, almost 23-year-old. Could you imagine what that's like for a 5-year-old child? But this all started when a TikTok was posted on the 7th of December 2024, and this video was just like a simple video of a minion dancing, and it was clear that it had this like AI filter over it, and this ended up going like semi-viral, and then it became like a trend, and people started to do this with their videos, and you know, like, it became a thing, and it just went so extreme so quickly. It was literally within a week of that first minion video being posted, on the 14th of December, a video of someone who had actually live streamed their was posted with an AI filter, and this video of this actually gained hundreds of thousands of views within just 3 days. And then that was when it really began to take off as like this new minion gore AI trend. Now, I was gonna like delve into how this works, but I don't want to, because I don't want people to get any ideas and to go on and recreate this. I trust my audience and I love you guys, but I don't want that's something you can find out on your own. I don't want to be responsible for that. I hope that makes sense. But the creators are exploiting these recognizable family-friendly characters on the algorithms of TikTok, Facebook, whatever social media, so it's harder for these videos to get removed. And of course, the worst thing of all is that children are being exposed to this content, and I mean very young children. Like, I mean, I don't know why a 4-year-old is accessing TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but unfortunately they are, and they are coming across this content, and it's traumatizing. It's horrible. It is so traumatizing. Like, I remember back in the day when you wanted to, you know, when you were younger and you actually wanted to access this type of content out of pure morbid curiosity with you and your friends at a sleepover when you were like 14, they used to be so hard to find. You couldn't just find gore videos like that. But now it's so easy to come across this content, and it is so disturbing. And not only that, many children and teens have actually reported being emotionally affected and traumatized by what they have come across, and you can see this in the comment sections of these videos. But the good thing is, it is making parents more aware to what type of content their children are consuming online. However, there is not much that can be done about it, and parents like to give their kids iPads for a moment of peace and quiet. Now, we spoke a little bit ago about the AI fetish content that is absolutely rife at the minute, and this is what inspired me to, you know, make this video. And now, you're not going to believe me, but take my word for it. I come across this content. You know how they say you place your, like, reels brick by brick? Well, I don't know where I placed this brick. I don't remember placing this brick, and I don't think I placed this brick, but... So content would appear on my feed of cartoon characters being fat. Being inflated, if you will. This is called inflation. This is an inflation fetish, and this is a thing. And according to Urban Dictionary, and I quote, an inflation fetish is a fetish of having a sexual desire towards somebody, having their stomach, breasts, arms, legs, or sometimes all of them growing larger than life, and the fetish is believed to have started with the Willy Wonka movie, you know, where Violet Beauregard blows up to a huge blueberry. Film that people were exposed to when they were a child, which is very important because we're going to come back to this. Now again, as mentioned previously, Raymondo the YouTuber on here, he's great, but he has covered a video on this, which again, if I remember, I'm going to leave a link in the description to it because it's an interesting watch. But he goes on to say that people who were exposed to this type of vor content or inflation content from a young age did actually go on to later develop this fetish into a fetish. When they were kids, they found it funny, but as they got older, they realised that this was like something they unfortunately enjoyed. I mean, maybe not unfortunate. I'm not going to kink shame, okay, but like, I just don't understand. I don't understand, but that's fine. Lots of these other videos would also include like videos of Elsa or Dora the Explorer going into like a supermarket and just eating so much that they inflate.
My God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your guy.
Yeah, it's really weird and I don't understand it, and this was a wild Sunday morning I had researching this. But given Instagram's like pretty big user base, including lots of minors on mummy's iPhone, there's a risk of this being exposed to children that come across it, think it's funny, and then later go on to develop this fetish. Now, of course, Instagram does have policies against explicit content that is featured on their website, but these, you know, videos are AI generated. It's harder for them to detect, as we've spoken about, because it's cartoon characters and it's not exactly anything that's breaking the guidelines, I guess. But a YouTube account that I came across specifically is called AI Easy, and this was interesting. The content is certainly special. They feature lots of different characters going into stores or supermarkets, and these videos are like, I don't even know how to explain it. They feel a little bit like a fever dream, but also like a nightmare at the same time. It genuinely feels like something that I'll wake up from and be like, what the f*** is that? Like, I can't explain it. But they include characters eating loads of food and then lots of it out. A lot of it is scat fetishes as well. Do you know what? Here you go, I'm just going to show you it. Enjoy. So not only here do we have inflation fetishes, but we also have scat fetishes. Now this is why in an older video, I said, and apparently this was controversial to one or two commenters, so I'm going to say it anyway. I said that children children's toys that are, you know, centered around poo is weird, in my opinion. I know it's funny, and I know it's how children learn and develop, but I think it's a little bit weird. Maybe that's just me. And someone said that I was the weirdo for thinking this, and that this was a me problem. But the thing is, when you're developed to this type of stuff from a very early age, you know, the inflation fetish, the vor fetish, the scat fetish, you can then grow up to develop this into a fetish. That's how the psyche works, I guess. And I just said, hey, this is weird. But now am I weird for am I wrong for thinking that? Is that a me problem? I mean, I didn't think it was. I mean, I'm sorry for thinking that playing with poo was weird, I guess. But this AI Easy account was one that particularly focused on, like, the poop and, you know, the food. But this content is exactly what children were being exposed to when the Elsagate thing was going down. Like, the horrendous toilet training videos of, like, chocolate poo, people eating off toilet bowls that was just Nutella. Do you know what I mean? It's just repeating itself. And kids watch it because kids go, haha, poo, funny. But it's so much weirder than that. It's just pure same slop, weird ass content that has created so many issues. But because these accounts use AI, again, they can bypass all of the filters, meaning that this content stays up for longer and is more accessible to younger audiences. And that they can post as much slop as they want because no one cares. Personally, I think Elsagate 2.0, what I'm talking about now, is far more worse than Elsagate because AI is so much broader than using real life actors. People don't need to be hired to do this content. Anyone can create this content. The possibilities are much more vast than they were when we were limited by human error. And also, really interestingly enough, some of these videos have like hundreds of thousands of views but like no interaction whatsoever. Like, tell me why one of the videos had like 200,000 views and like 700 likes. Like, what is that like to view ratio? What is going on there? And like 0 comments. So as I was searching long and hard to find these videos, what I came across on my journey was genuinely insane. I actually came across a video of Elsa being impregnated by SpongeBob SquarePants.
And if I look like that too, bro, that's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I be saying that's fucked up, like, bro. You probably had the full washing set. You should be fired probably if they ain't cut.
And alongside that, I came across a video, or a channel even, called JM Mates. And this channel has over 5 million subscribers, okay? And I think this channel was like pretty big, like 5 years ago. And because of this, when I was like stalking their account, I realised like videos that were posted within a month or recently all featured, do you remember like the Dame tu Casita alien, that meme that was a thing? Well, lots of them featured that in the title and I was like, well, that's beating a dead horse. What's going on there? And then I clicked on their popular videos and all of their popular videos was the Dame tu Casita alien. So I was like, oh, okay, they're milking it for all it's worth. Now, the shorts on this account are where it kind of, you know, piqued my interest because almost every single short, if not all of them, are AI generated. And like I said previously, they all have thousands of views, but like no comments. And they're all like weird, an AI generated woman eating like mukbang food or like eating videos, but they have like no comments. And I was like, that's really interesting. Also, a lot of their content on this channel featured characters like the Miraculous Ladybug, who is canonly like 14, by the way, in a bikini, smooching Elsa, which, I mean, let's go lesbians, that's fine, but putting a 14-year-old in a bikini and her body is kind of where I draw the line. But again, the comments on these videos just seem to be like botted content, like just a ton of emojis or like stuff from other countries, viewers from other countries that are viewing this content. I don't really know. Now, this content could be AI, but it could also be just really, really cruelly animated, and I can't work out which one it is. I'm gonna lean towards AI. But this content also featured like lots of vor, as you can see from these thumbnails, which again is very interesting. It's just weird, it's off, and it's just pure slop is what it is. Another account worth noting that I came across is called Persona, We already know where that's going, don't we? Well, lots of their content featured child-friendly characters, but they were sort of including them in distressing and gory situations. They also are guilty of posting the AI cat content. And again, this is where I found a video of the cat being like gunned down with like gore and the whole shebang. Definitely not kid-friendly, definitely interesting. Definitely time I'll never get back. And again, there are so many of these accounts, but these are just a few that were worth mentioning. And the same thing with the Elsagate. This will have an impact on children that watch or come across this fake generated content. It's disturbing and it's gross. It contains gore imagery, distressing content, fetishes, which kids don't even have the mental capacity to even process. You know, children are being exposed to horror, gore and violence from this so, you know, early age where their mind is so moldable and malleable that anything can go in and anything can, you know, traumatise them. Children are going to struggle to distinguish between, you know, safe content, real content, AI content, because they've grown up with it. And not only that, these AI videos go on to harm the brands of these characters, because these characters are going to become associated with, like, horror and gore. But this repeated exposure to this kind of content can, you know, introduce children to concepts that they aren't developmentally ready for. You know, the content is bright, colourful, overstimulating, which is what kids are into these days, I guess. You know, these children might then go on to believe that what they're viewing is normal and, you know, it's stunting them. It's stunting their development. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like AI content will be slowing down anytime soon unless strict laws and guidelines come into place, which I don't know if they will. But because of how easy it is to make this type of content and how much easier it is to even post it, they won't be able to stop all of it, unfortunately, which is why it's so crucial now, more than it ever has been, that parents need to be vigilant and monitoring what their children are watching on the internet, especially when it comes to the topic of fetishes and violence and I feel like this is more important now than when Elsagate was happening. And I know probably a lot of you are thinking that I'm like deep in it, or I'm just being like, you know, Dollface, it's fine. It's just a few videos online. It's not that deep. But the thing is, desensitization in children can lead to them believing that this behaviour is then normal, to then go on to repeat it, therefore hurting other children that don't even engage in this type of content. Children today are growing up to be more traumatised, unempathetic and desensitised than ever before, and that is something that has to change. So what can we do? Not much, I'm afraid, other than perhaps not giving children tablets and making them go and touch grass every now and then. We as grown-ups can help this by not engaging in AI art and fake content, and also supporting people that make real art. And you yourself, get a hobby. Do something fun that doesn't include the use of AI. Profit off it. Do something. Stop using AI. But unfortunately, that is all the time I have for this video. If you enjoyed, please let me know. If you have any case requests, stories, or just want to say hi in the comments, please leave them down below because I read every single comment. And if you'd like to follow me on any of the social medias, links are down below in the description box in the link tree, and the videos from this video should be linked down there as well if I remember, which fingers crossed, Dollface. If you follow me on Instagram, you get access to content and, you know, video ideas before I even post them, so every follower is appreciated. But until the next video, stay safe.